If you're watching this video, you've most likely encountered a form such as this. This is actually YouTube's sign-up form to create an account. As you can see, it accepts multiple kinds of input, including the email address and username, postal code, that have text or numbers, and even a date of birth, or the radio buttons to select male or female. Have you ever wondered how these forms are written? In this video, I will be teaching you how to create a form in HTML. I will not be going into how to store the information from the form in PHP. We're just going to focus on the HTML elements to create a form. Okay, so we're ready to get started. I'm going to be writing my HTML document in Notepad++, but it doesn't really matter which text editor you use to write your HTML as long as it's saved as an HTML document. Let's get started by saying doc type HTML to initialize it as an HTML document. And then we put our HTML opening tag and our HTML closing tag. This is where all the HTML is going to be stored. Then we create our body to contain all of the contents. Oops, that should be a closing tag. There we go. To all of the contents that should be viewed by the website. So to initialize the form, it's actually quite simple. Just an opening form tag and a closing form tag. It's an empty form. There's no input boxes like we saw in the YouTube form. There's no anything. So we need to decide what kind of form we want to use. For this example, I'm going to go with a real-life example where a grocery store, they take a sort of lottery where you submit your receipt with the amount of money that you saved on it and submit it with your email and your name and your phone number. And they will look at how much you saved, and if you're called, you get that amount of money back. So what are we going to need for this? We're going to need a name, an email, a phone number, and the receipt to actually check how much the person won. On W3 Schools, there is a handy-dandy list of all of the different input types. So you can see we have type button, type checkbox, and on and on and on. Forms can have a whole lot of different input types at once. What do we need again? So we need a name and an email. So there's a text field that will be our name. There's the email that will be our email. There is the telephone number, which is this input type equals tel, and the file, which is this input type equals file. And if you go to this website, I'm going to link it in the description below, but it's going to have examples of how to use all of these. And back to the code. Long editor. Okay, here we go. So we're going to do our text field for our name first. So call it name, and then give it a line break so that it looks pretty, and then say input type equals text, and that will tell it that it's accepting a text kind of input. And then name your text input, so we're going to call it name. Keep it kind of simple. That is it for our input for our name. So we'll put another line break just to keep everything looking nice on the web page. And then we will put our email. So we're going to do email, line break again. Again, we do input type equals email, and name equals email. We'll go ahead and throw another line break in here. And then we're going to put in our phone number. So we're going to call it phone number. and put a line break, and then input type equals tell. Gonna call it phone number. And now here's where things get a little bit different. The phone number input in particular uses a pattern to validate that the user is putting in a correct phone number. To add that pattern, we're going to do pattern equals, and then it's going to be 0 through 9, and then curly brace 3 hyphen 0 through 9 curly brace 3 hyphen 0 through 9 curly brace 4, and then we'll close the pattern, and then we'll close that input type declaration. So don't get too freaked out about pattern if you're really new to this. Essentially what's happening here is we are formatting our phone number. For the beginning of the phone number, the area code, we have 3 numbers between 0 and 9. Then in the middle, we get 0 through 9, and we get 3 of them again. And then for the ending, we get 0 through 9, and then we get a set of 4 of those. So finally, we get to our receipt. So I'm going to call this upload receipt. Oh, I forgot about our line break. So we're going to do that, and then input type equals file, and then name is equal to, I'm going to call it receipt. So believe it or not, that's actually all we have to do to create this form that I'm describing. So all that's left to do is to save it. So I'm going to save it as form test.html. Okay, so I'm going to go to my documents, and then here we have form test, and here we have name, email, phone number, and upload receipt. That is pretty much a introductory form in HTML. As I said earlier, there are many kinds of input that can be taken by the form, and it's really up to whatever your project needs of what kind of input you'll need in your form. But hopefully this example was enough to get you started. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.